Hey guys, how's it going? So, if you're new to this series, playlist, whatever have you, I actually do an intro on these videos and what the topic actually is in the prod pipeline 1 video, which I plan on setting actually below this video. But I thought, hey, this might actually help people get set up a little bit quicker rather than just following the README. Chronologically, just the setup sometimes is a hassle. So, anyways, let's just dive into it and you'll get the full intro in the next video. So, please stick around for that. Here, we just need to create an IAM role, right? Like an admin IAM role to be able to run the ML pipeline through end to end, especially using Terraform. So, what I do is I just come into my root account and then I come into users. And then now I'm going to create a new user. I'm going to come click on create new user. I'm just going to create whatever the user is. Kevin, I am user new. Whatever I want. Doesn't really matter. Details set up here in the IAM. I need to do provide user access to AWS Management Console. Why? Because we want this person to be able to see the GUI eventually. When we log into SageMaker or anything like that. So you can do the auto-generated password here, and then users must create a new password next time, and that's like the proper security protocol, right? You can check it or uncheck it. It doesn't matter that much, especially for this demo purpose. But anyways, just click next. In setting, you can see that I have an admin sandbox in the group name, so I could add this guy to a user group. You can also just attach policies directly if you don't have one set up already. Just click attach policies, click admin access, create a new one, and then eventually just click next. Now this guy has permission policies. The key one is that it's admin access, and then click create user. It says the user is set. You can click download CSV file now because that's going to show you the actual console password, and you can also click show console password if you'd like as well. And this is going to be your login password. Again, I will have deleted this long before this video goes, and then or you can download the CS file to keep it long term. Here I have my new IAM user. That's really all I need. I'm just going to go in and make sure that I have API access. Now that I'm inside, you can see I have this ability to create access key. That's what I'm going to do. Just for this time, most of the time, you want to click what I would consider a more proper IAM structure, or your organization has an IAM structure. Here, you can just click other, and it'll say it's okay to use access for this time. Click next. You can give it a description like ML prod pipeline AWS access, and just click create access key. Now when I do that, I'll have this access key. I want to copy that, and I'm going to bring that to the env file, which again you're going to see this set up in the next video and even towards the end of this video. And then I'm going to have a secret key. I'm just going to copy this secret key, and I'm going to paste those into my env file here in a second. So you can see that I'm inside of ML prod pipeline inside of this guy. And I can run the make setup. I've actually already done this, and in the next video I actually do it already. So you can run that here and just make sure that your .venv is set up. It will just install the requirements.txt. But this is really the important part, is making sure that you have this .env file sitting at the root directory. You can see that I have one here, and that's where I'm going to store my credentials. And then after I've done that, right, that's what this guy shows, like, hey, what I need to have, where I need to have it. And then I have this AWS configure profile. You can see that I'm going to run this AWS configure with the IAM user that I just created, and I click new. And then when I click it, it's going to say, hey, I don't see anything with this, right? Which of course, because you haven't done anything. Go to your env file and just copy and paste these guys sequentially, right? So I'm going to write like whatever my access key is, click enter, whatever my secret key is, right? Copy and paste. Whatever my default region is, right, like US West 48 to whatever I want my default JSON to be, or default output. JSON's usually what people want. And then I can come into this ML prod pipeline. I can open another terminal, or I can just clear the other one. And I can just make sure that it gets set up correctly. See that now if I've nanoed into the users kevin.aws.credentials file right here, you can see that I have the access key and the secret key are now set up, and I just want to make sure it's the same in the config. And you can see that I have the same thing as before. I have the profile, Kevin IAM, user new, US West 2, and JSON. That's really what you need. Now when you come back to the main screen and you run this make env check, it should show up that you have all your credentials set the way that is expected. So I run make env check and bang. It sees that I have the AWS profile, sandbox 2, the GitHub token, and the US West 2. Let me show you quickly how to make the GitHub token if you haven't made one in the past, just to really solidify everything together in the setup. So now I'm inside of GitHub. All I did was I just clicked on my icon. I went to settings, then developer settings. I went to tokens classic, and then I just clicked generate new token. I want to make sure that I'm generating the classic token for this example. You can use the new and fine grained ones too if you'd like. And for this guy, right, you could just write whatever, ML prod key, whatever you'd like for it to be your token. The main thing is that you just have repo selected. You can read and write. You can add as many admin and user items that you'd like, but really the repo is access to commit status, deployment status. If for some reason you're missing one of these, right, when you go to actually deploy to GitHub Actions, you'll just need to come in and make sure that you give a couple more admin privileges. And then I just click generate token. You can see that it's generated a token, right? I've just commented it out, but you need to have the GHP underscore, just so you know. And then you can always delete this at a later date, but that's also the guy that's going to go inside your .env file. Now that you're in here and you set the GitHub token and you set it ultimately, and then you run the make env check, it will run all these commands and it will essentially make sure that you have everything set up and that your GitHub token, AWS profile. Again, ignore all of these training data and everything that will be set as you go through in the pipeline. Stick around for the next one where the videos actually get interesting. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.